Hi everyone, welcome back to Test and Review. In this channel, we share everything about cars, overlanding, and outdoor. And recently, I've been looking for more pot light on Amazon, and I found a really interesting thing. There are some pot light that are extremely cheap, and they have a very big power output. Some of them said they are like 200 watts or 100 watts. Usually, a light that I use for my car are 18 watts or at most 36 watts, and they are bright enough. As we mentioned in our previous video, watts doesn't necessarily mean brightness. So with 200 watts, how bright can they be? Or even, are they actually 200 watts? Or that's just something they use for advertising? Well, I got 6 lights from Amazon that marketing that they have over 100 watts. Let's see how they work. All of the 6 lights are extremely cheap. I think the most expensive one are like $30 or something, and that's for 2 lights. If they can actually be that bright, that's such a bargain. And I actually got this. This is a measurement that can show you when the light is working, how much watts they use. Let's firstly find out, are they actually over 100 watts? Okay, so here is the 6 light that I got from Amazon. The largest power output is here is 300 watts. The smallest power output is here and it's still 100 watts. So now let's open them one by one. Okay, so let's start with this one that's from OFFROADTOWN. And this light is marketing with 100 watts and it's $33, which is the second most expensive in all those 6 lights. So we open it up. It's actually more sturdy than I thought. It has this foam board to protecting it. So this light comes with 2 pot light and 2 small mounting system for it, together with all the screws and the hex key. So this light doesn't have a connector. We would have to wire it manually. First impression I have for this light is it's very light, but the general texture of the weight of the light feels pretty good. At this moment, besides for the little simple packaging, I'm pretty happy with the look of this light. With a $30 purchase, I was pretty happy of what I got. Now it's time to testing, are they really 100 watts? I hope firstly it will light up. Okay, it's actually reading 16.9 watts. So our first one failed the test. It does not read 100 watts here. I don't know how they calculate, even if they add these two together, it's not reach 100 watts. So I was guessing there's something wrong with this advertising. Now let's invite light number 2. This one is 102 watts. This is a very exact number. I hope they can perform as what they say. It is $28 for 2 lights. This packaging compared to last one feels more fragile. It doesn't have any tape. I can open it very easily. Also inside it doesn't have any foam board to protect it, only a little bit like bubble. I can play this all day. Wow, the light is really big. Oh my god, I'm surprised. They have 2 light and they have 2 small mounting system. And here is the light. It's also pretty light. And this doesn't have a connector. Oh, and this doesn't feel like glass. This feels like a plastic. So this light, my first thought was, wow, this is really a big light. And my second feeling is there's so many light chips inside this. Like the light we just saw have 5, and this one have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, and they have 5 on the bottom, 5 on the top, and like a lot in the middle. I would believe if this one is actually 100 watts because they have so many light chips and they could use a lot of power. That being said, this light does feel really fragile. I don't know if that's a fair judgment, but just by looking at it, I don't think this light can last really long. But let's testing it out and see how much power they actually use. I'm actually a little nervous. I hope at least one of them can actually reach 100 watts. Oh my god. A little bit better than the previous one. This is 20 watts. It still doesn't reach 100 watts with all those light bulbs. It's a little bit disappointing. Okay, let's meet our third candidate for today. And this is 120 watts and $20. Although this box is much smaller, it actually feels heavier than the two larger boxes previously. Just judging by the appearance, this one is what I feel the best among all those 6. This actually told us this is like a spot and flood combo light. Means ideally this should have the benefits of the both beam pattern. Let's open it up and see how they perform. Okay. So inside it doesn't have a foam board as well. It's still using those bubble wrapping. Yeah, their instructions are made in English and Japanese. I don't know, are they made in Japan? Okay, here is the light. It is pretty light. And they actually have a protector of this 2 wire, which doesn't exist on the other 2 light previously. This also come with a little packaging of mounting system. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this I can actually count how many light chip there are. There's 20 light chip inside this. I'm not as impressive to the light as I am to the packaging. Let's testing how it performs. Come on, I have faith in you, please. What? This is less than 10 watt. It's 9.8 watt. That is the one that has the least watt at this moment. Well, since we haven't measured the brightness, maybe this one still have hope. Maybe it used the less watt but performed the most light. We will see. But at this moment, I am a little bit disappointed. A light that marketing 120 watts actually only came to less than 10 watts. This is the smallest box I got today. Is a light from Zmoon. On their Amazon information, they said 140 watts, and this is also $20. When I took this one out from the Amazon box, the box is actually already open. So I don't know, I would suggest maybe sell it a little bit better so it doesn't open itself when we ship it. And let's see how they perform. Just open this up. Again, no foam board, just the bubble wrapping. Okay, so this one doesn't came with mount. It came with 2 simple light. $14 light chip. They have a very shallow cooling fence. Just personally speaking, I don't really like this design. Just this very big circle outside with a lot of small circle inside. Kind of got me cringe a little bit. So you can let me know if you like this design more or like another normal square looking. Now let's just testing how much watt is actually used. At this moment, I already don't know what to expect. Okay. Guess what? This one is 7.6 watt. Just by looking at it, this one doesn't feel really bright to me. For some light that I tested before, I can't even look at it. It's like too bright. But this one, I can actually look at all the light bulb and won't harm my eyes. Okay, here comes our 5th candidate. This one is at 240 watt on their Amazon page. And it's almost $30. This is from the same brand that we just tested. Your partner already failed. I hope you don't disappoint me. Just judging by the packaging, the design, and the texture all look pretty well, but it didn't sell really well. I can open it pretty easy. So let's open it up. Oh, this actually came with a wire. That is kind of surprised because none of the other light came with its own wire. Well, I'll give you a credit for that. It came with 2 mount as the other light. It's also wrapped with like bubble wrapping. It's a little hard to get it out. This has 20 light chips, 10 on the bottom, 10 on the top, and 10 on each side. Okay, if compared this light with the same brand light that we just tested before, I like this one already much more. So now let's connect it and see how much watt it actually uses. Oh, so this light is 22 watts. Well, to be fair, 22 watts can be a pretty bright light, but still, it is only 10% as it is specified on the information page. Well, that being said, this light does look pretty bright on the wall, and it can light up a pretty wide range, so I still have hope in it. One thing to keep in mind though, just turning it on for a few seconds, it's already feel really hot in my hand. The other light so far doesn't have this problem, so this light maybe have some problems with cooling. Here is our final candidates. This one said it's 300 watt. The price is $36. Still not very expensive for a light like this. And let's open it up and see how it works. And bubble wrapping again. But this light does feel pretty heavy in my hand. The cooling fans and the light itself feels pretty firm. Well, this light looks really similar with the other light that I just tested. But by holding it, this one is much heavier than the other one. As the other one, this has 10 chips on the top, 10 on the bottom, and 10 on each side. Let's connect it and see how much it actually reads. Okay, this one, when it turned on, it actually hurts my eyes and I have to go like, oh. And that is the first light that makes me feel like that. On this machine, it reads 25.5, but I'm pretty sure this is the brightest light so far just by looking at it. So although it's nowhere near 300, I still give it credit for being really bright. Well, that's all the 6 lights I bought from Amazon. I have to say I'm a little disappointed that none of them actually reached even more than 100 watts because I am genuinely really curious to see how bright a 100 watt output light can be. But even the light with the most power output are at most 25 watts. So the next time you're looking for lights on Amazon or other website, maybe have a question mark in your mind. The light with like 100, 200 watts, are those numbers even real? So which light are you using? Please leave a comment below and let us know what other light you want us to test and review. I'll see you in the next video.